When you make a very low-budget movie, there are challenges that face you that you wouldn't necessarily have in a larger budget. You know, the hundreds of decisions that you would ordinarily make every day on any film set. It just makes them all that much harder because there's this financial imperative hanging over everything. And since I produced and directed the movie, I was constantly worrying about everything. I'm not just worrying about performance and about the shot and about, am I getting the coverage that I want as a filmmaker, but I'm worried about, are we late for lunch? Are we going long and I'm going to have to pay overtime? Or do the actors have conflicts?
Do me a favor and try to park right here.
We had this great location, a rustic cabin in the middle of nowhere in the desert of California, exactly as described in the script. But it was truly a rustic cabin. So there was no water, there was no electricity, there was no plumbing. So even though this was an incredibly low-budget movie, we had to bring in everything. We had to bring in bathrooms and we had to bring in dressing rooms. And it was a challenge because I hadn't budgeted for any of that stuff. I had to find the money somewhere, to make the actors comfortable. Because if the actors aren't comfortable, if they don't have a comfortable place to go to the bathroom, they can't concentrate. They can't do what they want.
Why do I go pee?
Craft services was an ongoing issue on this movie, but I actually liked lunch. I thought that the caterer did a really nice job.
Don't get me started on lunch.
I think that some people had something to say about the catering.
I think that people in jail eat better than we've been eating.
Now, the first AD had designed the menu for the first few days. So we ended up with these meals that had both potatoes and noodles and another kind of noodles and pasta, and I thought, that's a lot of starch.
It was meant to arrive hot and with knives and napkins.
It's very good. It's very good. It's chicken, it's rice, it's salad, nutritious, it's warm, no complaints.
But I thought the caterer did a really good job.
Lunch.
We were in Antelope Valley where there was a time when people could head up from LA and get really large tracts of land up there. And so our next door neighbor at the location was a successful Hollywood stunt coordinator, I think, who had gone up there and built this big house and a big piece of land and had built a professional quality dirt racing track in the backyard for his two boys. God bless them. They're lucky kids. Unfortunately, it's really loud, so we had some issues where we'd be in the middle of shooting and the dirt bikes would start going, and these people were very nice people. They were lovely people, but it's their backyard and their track, and the kids are off from school and only have certain opportunities to do the dirt bike racing. So they want to do it when they want to do it, and so you have to go over with humility, with genuine humility, and ask them if they would please, please, please stop. And the thing that you forget is that you're there for this amount of time making a movie. But last week, somebody else was in the same location making a movie. And next week, somebody else is going to be at the same location making a movie. And every single time, they're going to the neighbors saying, hey, we're making a movie, can you not race your bikes? Well, then when are they supposed to race their bikes? You put yourself in the other guy's shoes for a minute and a half, and you see that things are not so black and white. I don't mean to tie everything back thematically to the movie, but the fact of the matter is, we all need to have a certain amount of humility, and we all need to acknowledge that the other guy has just as much of a right to do what he's doing as you have to do what you're doing. And it applies even when you're asking young men to stop their dirt bike racing.